Education is the most powerful weapon which one can use to change the world. Good evening, everyone. I, Hitaya, Senior Executive, Academics, Emerging Technologies from DCM Group of Schools, welcome you all to yet another exciting series of DCM Cares. Education goes beyond shaping us as individuals and enhancing our perspectives. It helps us better handle problematic situations. It also helps us from opinions on world issues and teaches about the larger community. With educated options, we can support each and other and make decisions that help establish a positive change in our communities. 2020, the year categorized by uncertainty, we have witnessed major unexpected events till now. But one of the change, which was not only anticipated, but rather necessary, came about in front of the Nation Education Policy 2020 in India, and happens to be one of the major positive breakthroughs of this otherwise dreadful start of the decade. The Nation Education Policy 2020 is expected to complement the process and vision of creating quality institutions, a culture of innovation, and a high skilled workforce. Today's series is all about national education policy. We have Ms. Rajni Kalra as a speaker. She is the principal of DCM Presidency School, Ludhiana. She has completed her master's degree in commerce and DEd in international school leadership from Nova Southern Eastern University, a certified trainer from National Institute of Education and Training, Delhi. She has served Hindustan Scouts and Guides as District Vice President Punjab in year 2016 and 17. She has teaching and administrative experience around 20 years. I welcome you on behalf of DCM Group of Schools, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Hitaya. A very good evening and a warm welcome to all the parents and teachers in today's session on National Education Policy 2020. Before I start, I would like to speak few lines for all the viewers. कर्तव्यों का बोध कराती, कर्तव्यों का बोध कराती, अधिकारों का ज्ञान, शिक्षा से ही मिल सकता है सर्वोपरि सम्मान. इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने लास्ट ईयर ही एनईपी को मंजूरी दी और यह शिक्षा नीति इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम में चेंज को दर्शाती है और करंट एजुकेशन सिस्टम को पूरी तरह से बदलने वाली है. सो इसके लिए इसके बारे में जानना हम सब के लिए बहुत जरूरी है. Change is inevitable and law of nature. So it is very important to bring change. And of course, the education system will not get better by chance, but by change. And we are creating history by being part of the National Education Policy. Dear parents, we are getting this policy after about 34 years of last National Policy of Education, 1986. This policy is revolutionary and it calls for complete overhaul of the current education system. As per the new education policy, there is going to be reorientation of curriculum, reorientation of pedagogy, and the assessment structure. So now let us talk about the vision of the NEP 2020. Now, vision of National Education Policy 2020 says that there is a need to develop an education system that is deeply rooted in Indian ethos, also which has the capability to provide high quality education to compete in the global world. The curriculum and the pedagogy must develop a sense of respect towards the fundamental duties and the Constitution of India. The vision should be to develop a sense of pride and respect for the country and be responsible for human rights. There should be responsibility to take up sustainable development goals, the global well-being, and thereby reflecting a true global citizen. Now, what does that mean? National Education Policy हमें यह बताती है कि शिक्षा ऐसी होनी चाहिए जिससे चरित्र का निर्माण हो, बुद्धि का विकास हो और मनुष्य अपने पैरों पर खड़ा हो सके। नई शिक्षा नीति का उद्देश्य शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में भारत को विश्व की महाशक्ति बनाना है और भारतीय संस्कृति को और भारतीय परंपरा को निभाते हुए शिक्षा द्वारा व्यक्ति के चरित्र का निर्माण और बुद्धि का विकास करना है। This policy says that the education system should be aligned to 2030 agenda for sustainable development that aims to transform India into a global knowledge superpower. And how it can be done? It is possible by making both school and college education more flexible and in terms of that meets 21st century skills. Now coming to the key principles of National Education Policy 2020. The key principles of National Education Policy are, the first one is respect for diversity and local context. भारत की सांस्कृतिक परंपरा और भारत के रीति रिवाज बहुत ही रिच हैं और हमें अपने बच्चों को अपने कल्चर से, अपनी परंपराओं से और अपने रीति रिवाजों से जोड़कर रखना है। Diversity and respect for the local context, as well as recognition of the importance of India's classical language, will undoubtedly give learners a holistic world view. Next is equity and inclusion. शिक्षा का अवसर, शिक्षा की अपॉर्चुनिटी सबके लिए इक्वल हो, सबके लिए समान हो और समाज के सभी वर्गों में शिक्षा का प्रसार हो। कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन, पढ़ाई के साथ साथ स्टूडेंट्स का सामाजिक कार्यों में भी योगदान होना बहुत जरूरी है, जिससे उनका चारित्रिक विकास हो सके। सिर्फ किताबी ज्ञान ही नहीं, बल्कि अनुभव से, एक्सपीरियंस से प्राप्त ज्ञान ही व्यक्ति आदमी से मानव बन सकता है। इसके लिए जरूरी है कि बच्चों को कम्युनिटी सर्विस से जोड़ा जाए। जब स्टूडेंट सोसाइटी से जुड़ेंगे तो संवेदनशील बनेंगे, लोगों का दुख दर्द समझ सकेंगे, एक दूसरे की मदद द्वारा नैतिक मूल्यों का विकास होगा। It is extremely important for the students to learn, to give back to the society, and we as parents, as school, need to inculcate the virtues that drive empathetic gestures. Use of technology, e-learning पर जोर देना ताकि किताबों पर निर्भरता कम हो सके. Emphasis on conceptual learning. Emphasis should be on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning or learning only and only for exams. Unique capabilities. अलग अलग योग्यताओं वाले छात्रों को विशेष प्रावधान किए जाने चाहिए, and that is possible by sensitizing teachers as well as parents to promote each student's holistic development in both the spheres, academic as well as non-academic. Critical thinking and creativity. To encourage logical thinking, to encourage logical decision making and innovation among students. Students को अलग अलग तरीके से सोचने और इन्वेंशन करने के लिए हमें फ्री छोड़ना होगा, उन्हें इंक्विजिटिव बनाना होगा, मोटिवेट करना होगा। क्या, कैसे, क्यों, क्वेश्चंस शुड बी एनकरेज्ड। जब स्टूडेंट सवाल करना सीखेंगे तभी उनका जवाब भी सोच पाएंगे. Only then innovation and creativity is possible. नहीं तो स्टूडेंट्स वही लकीर के फकीर बनकर रह जाएंगे और कुछ नया नहीं सीख पाएंगे. Next is continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. Now coming to the reorientation of the curriculum and the pedagogy. The National Education Policy 2020 has taken a great leap for the Indian education system. One salient feature of National Education Policy is shifting from the current +2 format to 5 +3 +3 +4 system. For formal schooling, the child used to take admission in grade 1 and study under a common curriculum till grade 10. After grade 10, the students, they have a choice to opt for different streams like arts, humanities, commerce, science. The kindergarten is generally ignored in the formal schooling. But now in the new education system, there will be 4 stages of schooling. The first stage will be the foundation stage. That will be of 5 years from kindergarten to grade 2. Second stage will be the preparatory stage, which will be of 3 years covering classes 3 to 5. And the age range will be of 8 to 11 years. The third stage will be the middle stage. That will again be of 3 years, having classes 6 to 8, and the age group will be 11 to 14 years. The last stage will be the secondary, which will have classes 9, 10, 11, and 12. The children in the age category of 14 to 18 years will fall in this stage. In all these stages of education, it is extremely important to develop 21st century skills among students. Now, let us know what 21st century skills are. Skills like digital literacy, scientific temper, problem solving, ethics, values, health and wellness, social responsibility, critical thinking, collaboration, communication. All these skills are extremely important, and a child needs to learn to succeed in the new world of competition. Government is taking all the necessary steps to educate and train the school principals, teachers, and so that they can undertake these 21st century skills to incorporate in their regular teaching learning process. Now coming to the salient features of stages in school. 5 + 3 + 3 + 4 के इस नए सिस्टम को पढ़ाई लिखाई को रेलेवेंट बनाने के लिए फाउंडेशन स्टेज में प्ले एंड एक्टिविटी बेस्ड टीचिंग पेडागोजी होगी. Kindergarten will be an important part of formal schooling. Preparatory stage में भी play and activity based pedagogy होगी, लेकिन क्लासरूम टीचिंग को बेहद इंटरैक्टिव बनाने पर जोर दिया है. Importance will be given to reading, writing, speaking, physical education, art, music. Mother tongue is going to be a link language. Now, what does that mean? What is the meaning of link language? Link language means कि अगर किसी स्टूडेंट को कोई कॉन्सेप्ट समझने में कोई डिफिकल्टी आती है, then the teacher may use mother tongue of the child to explain the concept. The third stage is the middle stage that will be of 3 years. In this stage of learning, subject teachers will be introduced. and the stress will be on conceptual learning. Preparatory stage की ही तरह interactive teaching पर जोर दिया जाएगा. Rote learning कम होगी, experiential learning पर stress दिया जाएगा. Coding will be introduced at this stage to make the students familiarize with the very upcoming branch of artificial intelligence. Next, the secondary stage. Secondary stage will have multidisciplinary study. इसमें भी interactive teaching और conceptual teaching, experiential learning होगी, but emphasis will be on developing higher order thinking skills. At present, children, they have fixed stream choice system, but now, as per new education policy, children will have greater choice of streams. Like students can opt for biology with history or sports with physics. There is going to be a complete transformation in terms of any combination of subjects as per the choice and interest of the students. Now, the goal here is to help students join the dots across subjects, connect their learning to real life, and develop an intelligence that goes beyond rote learning. Emphasis will also be on vocational training to students. Dear parents, अब बात करते हैं assessments की और examination pattern की. The focus will be on testing the core competencies and higher order thinking skills. The students will be tested on the basis of their application knowledge that they will be applying to real life situations, and there will be a complete shift from rote learning. Now let us talk about the reorientation of assessment structure. The first is the key stage assessment in classes 3, 5, and 8. There will be no board exam in these classes, but the states will decide how to carry out the assessment in these particular classes. It will be a kind of testing of learning outcomes. Class 10 and 12 में board exams होंगे, but examination pattern बदलेगा. There can be semester system. जिन पेरेंट्स के बच्चे अभी क्लास 10 और 12 में पढ़ रहे हैं, they must have observed the latest CBSE sample papers. उन papers में 10 to 20% higher order thinking skill based questions हैं. As per the new education policy, there will be a raise of 50 to 60% of such questions in next 3 to 4 years. Now the report card, which is very important to assess the performance of children. The report cards will reflect 360-degree report, and it will not be a 1 or 2 page report. It will be a report, a comprehensive report of 10 to 15 pages, which will include self-assessment, peer assessment, teacher assessment, and the progress in project-based learning, inquiry-based learning. Here, the idea again is to reflect the holistic development of the child. Now, a very beautiful thing which new education policy is bringing is a year-long vocational course for classes 6 to 8. Vocational experts like carpenter, potters, electricians, gardeners, etc. इन सब के साथ बच्चों को internship का मौका दिया जाएगा, so that children's perspective is changed towards this kind of education. Emphasis will be on vocational education. There will be activities, different activities where children will be given a periodic exposure to such activities. There will be 10 days bagless period during the grade 6 to 8 for students, so that they can intern with local vocational experts. Vocational courses will be through online mode, and it will be also offered through open and distance learning mode. So by 2025, at least 50% of the learners will have exposure to vocational education. Children, they pick up languages extremely quickly between the ages of 2 and 8. And that multilingualism has great cognitive benefit to young students. So children will be exposed to different languages early on, starting from the foundational stage onwards. Every student in the country will participate in a fun project in the languages of India. Like last year and this session, we had conducted various activities under Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat. Experiential learning, which is very important. Teaching will include hands-on learning, arts integrated and sports integrated education. There will be storytelling based pedagogies as a standard pedagogy within each class. Art integrated education will be embedded in classes from transactions not only for creating joyful classrooms, but also for imbibing the Indian ethos through integration of Indian art and culture at every level. Sports integrated learning will be undertaken in classroom transactions to help students adopt fitness as a lifelong attitude and to achieve the life skills along with the level of fitness. Dear parents, basically the national education policy is giving stress on experiential learning, conceptual learning, development of 21st century skills, and minimization of rote learning. And then a lot of flexibility is given in selecting the subjects, and emphasis will also be on skill education. I hope this national education policy will be implemented from the session 22-23, and we all will get benefited out of it. So thank you, everyone. I would like to culminate today's session with a quote. रटंत विद्या नहीं, रटंत विद्या नहीं, अब नींव पर है बल. किताबों का बोझ हो कम, अनुभव से प्राप्त ज्ञान ज्यादा. नई नीति में है बच्चों के सीखने और सिखाने पर बल. Thank you once again. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing importance of NEP. Education is important because it broadens our knowledge. And this knowledge then opens up our minds to new perspectives, ideas, beliefs, and culture. I'm sure our viewers got an in-depth understanding of the importance of national education policy. I would take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of DCM Group of Schools to Ms. Rajni and all our viewers who are connected with us today. Thank you, and we'll meet you again with another interesting topic of DCM Cares. Good evening.